first of Ukraine's long-awaited American-supplied M1 Abrams main battle tanks have arrived in the country, the U.S. Department of Defense has confirmed to the war zone. While we don't know how many of the tanks have been delivered to Ukraine at this point, Washington has committed to sending 31 of the M1A1 versions, and these will surely be committed soon to Kyiv's ongoing counteroffensive. The Pentagon provided the war zone with the following statement. As President Zelensky said earlier today, the first batch of the 31 Abrams tanks have arrived in Ukraine. The mere presence of Abrams tanks serves as a potent deterrent. By having these tanks in their arsenal, the Ukrainian army can more effectively discourage aggressive actions. Providing the Abrams tanks signifies a tangible commitment to Ukraine's defense and stability, underscoring U.S. support for its partners facing external pressures. We will continue to focus on what we can do to help Ukraine succeed on the battlefield and protect its people. Earlier today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to post the following statement as part of his daily update. Good news from Defense Minister Umerov. Abrams are already in Ukraine and are preparing to reinforce our brigades. I am grateful to our allies for fulfilling the agreements. We are looking for new contracts and expanding the geography of supply. Meanwhile, a report in today's New York Times cited two unnamed U.S. defense officials, who say the tanks arrived in Ukraine yesterday, with more to be sent in the coming months. In regards to the likely number of Abrams now in Ukraine, Politico had previously reported that the first 10 of these tanks would arrive in Ukraine in mid-September, with the remaining 21 also due to arrive in country during the fall. Only last week, President Joe Biden and the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III had said the Abrams tanks would be sent to Ukraine within days. At the beginning of this month, we reported that a cadre of Ukrainian crews had completed their training on the M1 at different U.S. Army facilities in Germany. That training, with an initial course that lasted 12 weeks, included what was described as a combined arms, battalion force-on-force exercise, undertaken at the Hohenfels training area in Bavaria. Due to a slight holdup in the delivery of the tanks, Kyiv also requested a block of proficiency training, keeping the crews up to speed on their new mounts until they arrived in Ukraine. At that point, the first batch of tanks was still undergoing refurbishment and preparation for delivery. Back in August, U.S. Army Acquisition Chief Doug Bush told reporters that the consignment of Abrams tanks was slated to arrive in Ukraine by early fall. In July, meanwhile, there had been reports that the tanks could arrive on the battlefield sometime in September. The United States has made efforts to expedite the delivery of Abrams to Ukraine. At an early stage, for example, it was decided that Kyiv would receive refurbished M1A1 variants, rather than newer M1A2 types. While Ukraine long coveted the Abrams, as well as other modern Western tanks, it was only in January this year that President Biden initially approved the delivery of M1s to Ukraine. Previously, this had been ruled out as being too provocative and risking further escalation that would likely see NATO become more embroiled in the conflict.